Hi, this is Rob Hanley with the Durham Duplicate Bridge Club on Tuesday, August the 22nd for the 399er. We have two hands for you today. The first one is number 7. Two passes to me, and I'm 4-6 in the majors with 15 high card points. I'm going to start with one heart. Partners raised 2 hearts. That promises 5 to a bad 10 high card points. And I am definitely interested in game. So I have a choice of how I do that. I don't really like bidding 3 hearts. It's not very helpful. Instead, I'm going to bid a new suit, which is a natural game try, in this case, 2 spades. And that says I have something in spades, 3 or 4 of them, and ask my partner if they have a maximum, and if so, do they have some help for me in spades. So the good news is that if partner had had any minimum, they would have signed off in 3 hearts. So I know they have 8 to 10 points. The bad news is they don't have help for me in spades. When they bid 3 clubs, they're telling me they have some help there. So my queen of clubs really isn't a bad card, but it's not exactly the suit I was hoping for. So I'm going to try once more, this time with 3 diamonds. Okay, so we have found some help in diamonds. So partner has club values, diamond values, and 8 to 10. All right, so there's a nice 9. So a quick tally on the hand. I have a 9-card heart fit. I'm missing the queen and the jack. It's quite possible that I will lose one of those honors if they split 3-1, say, offside. Even onside, it's going to be hard not to lose one of those. I don't have a lot of entries to the dummy to take the finesses for the queen and jack. I think I'm just going to assume I have a hard loser. And I have 2 spade losers. So that means I can't afford to duck this club because certainly based on the 8 of clubs lead, the king is going to be offside. So I'm going to start by taking the ace. And now I have to decide what my line of play is. So to play this, I'm going to use the master hand principle, and I'm going to make my hand the master hand. So I'm going to try and account for all the losers in my hand. So if I look at the spade suit, I have 4 potential losers in my hand, but fortunately there are only 2 in the dummy. So if I could manage to ruff the other 2, that would actually get rid of 2 of my losers and I would make the contract. That's always a good thing. So I think I'm actually going to start off, believe it or not, by not drawing trump. I'm actually going to play a. So that was a bit unexpected. When a player pops up with the king like that, they are signaling to their partner that they have the ace. And that's actually reduced my losers in spades, because if I can get to the dummy and lead another spade towards the queen, they'll rise with the ace and my queen will become a winner. So I'm going to fall small on that. Okay, there's the king of clubs lead. So you have to, at this point, decide, did the player on my left, the ease robot, start with 2 clubs or 1 club? Was it singleton 8 or was it 8 small? If we look at it from the perspective of the robot on my right, if they had all the remaining clubs, so they started with 6 to the king 10, they would not play the king. They would try and give their partner a ruff and hopefully get back in spades, since they signaled that they had the ace and the king, to get another ruff. So as far as I'm concerned, that means that East started with 2 clubs and West on my right started with 5. So I can afford to ruff this with hearts. Now, given that spade ace is sitting on my right, I'm actually just going to underlead my 9 of diamonds to the king. I know that jack of clubs is a winner now, but it's just going to get ruffed by the player on my left anyway. And I need to solve my. And I'm going to play another spade. And there's that ace. Now, here comes a club. No surprise at this point, and I know the robot on my left is out. Now I'm just going to play the 9. I expected to lose 1, so that's not a problem. And here comes back a diamond. That works. So I started with a 9-card fit. One of the trump has shown up, so there are 3 trump outstanding. If the trump were 2-2, it doesn't matter what happens here. If they're 3-1 and the player on my right started with 3 trump, that'll be okay as well, even if he has the queen of hearts, because I can ruff a spade and then come back to my hand finessing him. So I'm going to draw 1 round of hearts. There you go. So it's going to be fine now. That's 2 more. The outstanding one is just the queen. There, it was on the east hand. And I'm going to ruff a spade, come back to my hand, and the rest of my hand is good. So all in all, actually quite an interesting hand to play. And it shows that with some interesting analysis of the West robot on my right, you're able to figure out a line of play which is going to work. That king of spades on the first spade that was played actually solved a lot of big problems for me. All right, we're going to pause while we change for the next hand. All right, we're back, this time with hand number 16. So I'm the second one, and dealer on my right is passed. And you'll notice that I have a 20 count. Now, frequently with these kind of hands, I will use a technique for determining whether I should open 2 clubs or at the suit level and the 1 level based on losers, where the ace, king, or queen not being in a suit is a loser. If I analyze my hand that way this time, it looks like I have 2 spade losers and a heart loser. That's 3. So that indicates that I could open this hand 2 clubs and there would be a lot of merit to that. However, while I generally don't have a problem opening 2 suited hands 2 clubs, the auction could get really awkward really fast. If I open 2 clubs, partner says 2 diamonds, I bid 3 clubs, partner says 3 hearts, or even 3 spades, which would only show 4, it's not clear to me how the auction is going to proceed. So in this one circumstance, I'm actually going to start by opening at the 1 level with 1 club. Partner's bid a heart, and I'm going to reverse into 2 diamonds. And this reverse shows 18 to 21 high card points with 5 clubs, 4 diamonds, and an unbalanced hand. And it is forcing for 1 round. So partner's bid 2 spades. Obviously, I don't have 4 spades because I would reverse into 2 spades in preference to diamonds. But it's still asking me to describe my hand further. I could have had a 3-card fit with partner's hearts. As in this case, I'm going to bid 2 no trump. And it also signals that we're going to game somewhere. If partner was looking for slam in clubs or diamonds, they would still go through 2 spades, 4 suit, and then they would raise one of my suits. In this case, they were clearly looking for a spade stopper. Okay, so no surprise I'm not getting a spade lead on this because I announced when I bid 2 no trump that I had spades covered. And if I have spades covered and I have clubs and diamonds on 5-4, odds are I'm short hearts, which is exactly the case here. The good news is the dummy has provided me with an entry with the jack of clubs. So I'm going to start by taking the king of hearts. And I'm not just going to cash the ace of hearts and play the jack of clubs and hope the clubs split. It is theoretically possible for me to pick up a 5-card club suit in the one opponent's hand, east or west, but I have to decide now. So I think there's a little bit of safety if they break 5-0 on the right side because I would still have the heart stopped. Instead, I'm going to assume that in a worst case, they're 5-0 in the east hand, and then I would be able to take 5 clubs. So I'm going to lead a small one towards my ace, and everybody's followed. That's good news because now it means the clubs are 5-4-3-1, and I'm going to take all the clubs and my 3 diamonds and the ace of hearts. So back to the jack of clubs, taking the ace of hearts. Just going to pitch pretty much anything here. And a club. Take that. My last club is a winner. Cash those diamonds. Nothing's going to run beyond this. And The defense is going to take the rest of the tricks. Okay. So also an interesting hand, and I think a good decision to open one club rather than two clubs. Two clubs could have been really awkward. All right, that's it for this week. We'll see you next time. Thanks.